like a giant and then a small, I mean, unless you wanted to do that for a design feature. So what you'll do is figure out how many on either side, and then you'll add 1 needle for seam allowance. If you forget to do that, just don't do it later, just keep it consistent. Whatever you do, knit is very forgiving, so if you are on a project and you realize you didn't add the seam allowance, just don't add it to anything else. Don't like start doing it later. Just keep things consistent. So I'm gonna do double E-wrap to start. I would recommend either E-wrap or double E-wrap because it'll be a little bit stretchier than the latch tool. And then you start the same way as the E-wrap, where you're going to go around, and then instead of going down in here, I'm going to go into that one and pull it back to make a little loop. And then I'm just going to go over 2, back 1, over 2, back 1. This is latch is not open. All your latches need to be open. And then I can keep it consistent up here. This tends to get smaller over time if you let it, so just make sure you're not pushing them all the way back, but just keeping it back here so I have this consistent level of stitches here. And it makes kind of a nice little finished edge. So this is actually going to be the edge of my sleeve, and then I'm going to do the ribbing and then start immediately into the body. I don't need to seam anything or take it off. Whenever you're doing knitwear, you're always starting from the bottom and going up to the top. So if you're doing an edge finish or something like that, you can do it here, and then it is finished. You don't need to flip it under or anything like that. So I'm going to go ahead and do however many rows that I need to do. Let's say I need to do 7 or 8 rows. Let's say 8 rows. So I'm going to go ahead and do my 8 rows, and then I'm going to work backwards ribbing it. And this is the time to use your row counter. Okay, so now I'm at 8 rows, and now I want to decide what is my pattern that I'm going to do for ribbing. I don't want to do the edge because I'm going to seam that one, and it really isn't worth it to do this first one either. So I'm going to start here with the 3rd one, and I'm going to do every other one like this. So these are the ones that I'm going to rib, and that works out that I have 2 on either side. So when I go to rib or seam these, I'm going to seam them here together, and they'll seam right here. So I'm going to pull this one out, drop it, and then I'm going to leave this open so I can put it back on there. So if you have a, I'm going to use this, but if you have a safety pin, it's a little bit easier. I want to, you see how this is my cast on here, it goes this way. I want to grab this one. This is my first stitch. So I don't want to let it go through my bind on here. I want to grab the first stitch that I see, which is that one. So I'm going to let this go and pull out. If you've got a transfer tool, you can kind of pick it out too, like this. I have one next door. And then that's my first stitch. So I'm going to go straight up the ladder. This is going to be behind the latch, that's going to go inside the latch, and I'm just going to pull straight down and then go up towards the ceiling. So that's every time, it's just one has to be inside, one has to be outside. So my loop is always behind that latch, my next bar of the ladder is inside that hook, so then it pulls through it. So then I go up, grab the next one, pull it straight down, up, past the latch, grab the next one. So I've got one behind, one inside, one behind, one inside. I'm just going to keep going like this, and then when I reach the top, I take that loop and I put it back on here. So when I'm ready to knit the rest of the body of my sweater, I have stitches on everything. And it is helpful to keep the weight on. I just took it off so you can see that here on the end, but I am going to leave the weight on for all of them because now I can see this is my bind on going this way. this is my first stitch right here. You can see it's a column going down. Now I can drop that, now it's secure. Use a safety pin. I have 2 lash tools, so it kind of works out that way, but and then I can grab, if that happens where your bar goes on the one side, you need it to be on the other side. So make sure you grab that stitch so that it's on that side. So it's behind and then inside, and you're pulling straight down. Behind, inside, pulling straight down. Behind latch, inside, pull straight down. So I'm pulling down, pushing up, grabbing the next one. Pulling down, pushing up, grabbing the next one. And then when I get to the top, see, it's easier when you prepare it for yourself. If I have that ready to go, I can just put that on there, and that's my next row right there. And now I'm ready for this row. I'll do it again. So I'm going to first find my stitch, because if you don't do this first, you could accidentally go through the cast on, and that's a different stitch. It's going this way. So I want to grab this one. That's my first balloon here. You guys can see that, right? I'm gonna grab that one, hold that secure, and then I can feel comfortable to drop it because I know that that's secure. And then usually if you just pull it, it comes out, but you know, you can just kind of pick it out too if you need to. With a transfer tool, it's really easy to do. And then see how that one ended up on that side? That's fine, I just need to switch it. I need this to be on that side. That's why it's a little bit easier when you use a safety pin, because you can just move it. And then I'm gonna grab this one, pull it up, down, pull it down towards me, up past the latch. Grab the next one, down towards me, up past the latch. Next one, down towards me, up past the latch. Down, up, down, up. You should hear that little click every time, then you know you're doing it right. And then you prepare that one, put it right back into position, and then that's my third row. I'll do one more.